3 points.
The original Windjammers was a Neo Geo staple, and the fast-paced disc combat game definitely took that console by storm 30 years ago, which definitely sounds like a crazy long period of time saying out loud, but thanks to developer Dotemu, Windjammers 2 is here to revitalize and expand on that old classic for a modern hit. In fact, Dotemu was the same team behind Streets of Rage 4, so you know the gameplay, look, and feel is as faithful as ever to the original, and once again, they definitely did not disappoint. In the grand scheme of things, the gameplay of Windjammers is as basic as you can get in video games. At its core, it's just essentially Pong, which does make this incredibly easy to pick up and play, but there is quite a bit of difficulty to master it if you really want to put in the time. There's a lot of small maneuvers in the game which can really set you apart from the competition if you really dive in to take the time to master them. You can dash, deflect, throw, jump, and spike the disc back onto your opponent's side of the court, and once you have filled up your EX meter, you can even perform a special move, sort of like in a fighting game. And all of the super moves are unique to each character. In fact, given how just few changes there were to the original gameplay and mechanics, it's impressive just how well the formula holds up 27 years later. There's 10 characters and 10 arenas to choose from, which is 4 more in each category from the original. Each character comes with unique super shots to confuse and abuse your opponents, as well as their speed and power differences, which gives you the ability to choose between your play style. The faster characters can get to the disc easier, but can also get pushed around and sometimes even into their own goal from a powerful shot. It does really make you strategize a bit more when you're playing, which is by far one of the best things about this game, because it's so well balanced that even if you end up losing, you never necessarily feel cheated out of a win by some poor CPU mechanic. It's just a different strategy, and you need to improve on that on your own, and it definitely kept me coming back. Finally, there are several new courts with unique rules that have some obstacles which can send the disc in a wide variety of directions. There's a casino stage where each shot is served with a different amount of points. It does add a bit of flavor to the game and makes each match a bit more interesting, as well as causing you to need to plan out your strategy a little bit differently. Sometimes you might try to quickly attack their goal with a quick reflect, or if they are playing defense back on their own goal, you can actually pop it up in the ground and get them that way. It definitely adds just a bit more of decision making that needs to be done rather quickly in order to grasp the win, and the games and matches themselves are incredibly fast paced. Like, you can be done in a match in a minute or even 2. I will say visually the game is absolutely gorgeous. It has bright, colorful sprites and backgrounds that definitely give off that 80s, 90s feels. There's sunny beaches, hardwood floors, and the bright and colorful casino. It just makes the characters seem that much more vibrant. Adding in all of these super attacks that just fill up the screen, give it that arcade vibe, as well as some of the fighting game style as well, with a lot of the menus and information that flashes on the screen. And the soundtrack has this great retro vibe feel to it, and it just feels all in line with the original. There are 3 game modes: arcade versus an online. Arcade is pretty straightforward, serves as your solo campaign, which is really just sort of a tournament style, and in between there are a few little short arcade bonus matches. Think like in Street Fighter 2 where you have to destroy the barrels, but in this time it's just a machine shooting discs at you that you'll have to attack and destroy. Definitely adds just a little more life into the game, because other than the arcade mode, you just have a verse mode and an online mode, which are pretty much the same thing. Just one is obviously against local co-op or CPUs, and then online is just playing against people online. Multiplayer is definitely the main focus here, and if you can get a good group of people to play with online, or you have good connections. I played on the Switch. I didn't necessarily myself have any issues, but I have seen some people on Twitter and YouTube saying that they had issues, but this is of course day one, so the rest remains to be seen. I really do only have 2 complaints with this game, and they are incredibly minor. One of which is that in the verse mode, when you finish, you're kicked all the way back to the character select screen. So the addition of a simple rematch selection right inside of that verse mode would be a welcome plus. Also, the lack of a proper tutorial or training mode. I know it's pretty simple stuff in this game, but some of the more advanced techniques just require a bit of practice to make sure you're actually doing them correct. So just for new players to be able to sort of just be told and have a little bit of practice with very specific techniques, I think would be something that would improve the game. And of course, both of these are easily addressable in an update or future DLC that could come down the line, which could add characters or costumes and stages just to breathe a little more life into this game. So what you're getting is basically an absolute blast to play. It's $20 on just about every platform: Switch, PlayStation 4, Steam, all of the places you would expect to find it, and I think it's absolutely worth checking out. It's reasonably priced, and it's a great throwback to those old Neo Geo games, but done in such a modern way. I really enjoy everything this developer Dotemu has done, including Streets of Rage 4 and now Windjammers, and I just look so forward to what they have coming out in the future that I absolutely 100% recommend Windjammers too. So let me know if this is something you guys plan on picking up, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
If you like this episode, be sure to hit that subscribe button or check out our podcast on iTunes or come hang out on Twitch. We'll see you next time, and as always, thanks for watching.